And now, live from the Neverland Theatre, your host, Gary Starr. Hello, a very good evening to you. Welcome. It's Friday. Yes, the last day of the week, the final stream of the week. Hope you're well, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Welcome to StageToStream.tv, broadcasting live here from the Neverland Theatre here in sunny Skeg Vegas. Yes, indeed. Hope you've had a good day, whatever you've been doing, wherever you are in the world tonight. Welcome to our show. Tonight we've got a cracking show for you and lots of top banter. It's true. In fact, let's find out what's on tonight here on Stage to Stream. Live on Stage to Stream tonight, Sam and Molly speaking about the Norwich Fringe. We love a fringe. It's all happening here tonight on Yes, indeed, Stage to Stream, talking about the Norwich Fringe this evening, a little bit later on with Sam and Molly, live on the show. Anyway, in the meantime, hope you're well, wherever you are in the world. If you're cooking tea, sat back, relaxing with a nice G&T, whatever it is, welcome one and all. Before we start, once again, what we ask you to do is, of course, share the stream, get social, and, of course, give us some love, send us a like, a thumbs up, a love heart, whatever you like. But do get social, and, of course, make sure you like and follow the page. We love to see you here this evening. And speaking of getting social, you know what it's time for? Right Hand Ruthie.
Right hand Ruthie, right hand Ruthie.
Right Hand Ruthie. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm all right. How are you?
Ooh, living the dream.
Oh, leaving it. There we go.
What are you doing?
Oh, well, I made my headphones bigger today, for no reason, because my head's still the same size it was yesterday. And yeah, they just started moving about.
But they're okay now.
They're all right now.
It's Ruth's fun fact of the day.
That's right. You adjusted your headphones, but your head's the same size. We don't know what's going on. But welcome.
Right hand Ruthie, right hand Ruthie.
Here she is. Are you okay then?
Yeah, I'm all right now.
How have you been?
All right, you?
Living the dream?
Oh, great. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all good, yeah. Yeah, what have you been up to today? Anything exciting?
Oh, I'm back in the old costume store again.
Ooh, how's that going?
It's going all right.
Yeah?
You know when you start a job and then it just turns into a bigger job because you go off on side projects?
Constantly, yeah. It's called procrastination. I'm very good at it. I'm a master at it.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got 4 jobs going on at the moment, and I kind of do a bit each day. Yeah. Never get any of them done, but I will do eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually in the 11th hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right as long as it gets done eventually.
There's no rush, is there, at the end of the day?
Not going
It don't
anywhere,
matter,
are we?
does it?
Not going
It don't
anywhere.
matter.
No.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good. So you've had a day in the house.
Yeah, well, a few hours over there, yeah.
Good. Nice.
Yeah. And then I came back to destruction.
Destruction. Ooh, now that sounds rather exciting. What destruction are you referring to? I've been stuck in here all day editing, but go on, give me some.
You've not
give me some
been
gas.
upstairs yet, have
No,
you?
no, not yet.
Yeah. So sometimes the dogs, they just think, I know what's a really good idea. I'm going to jump on top of the microwave, throw everything off it that I can find, and start eating the evidence.
Yeah, see, this is a bit of a problem because Falcor has grown again. He's having growth spurts, and now he can reach the top of the microwave, which is on top of a 5-foot fridge.
Yeah.
So he can get stuff down off a 6-foot area now.
Yeah. So he managed to get through a box of bonios.
Excellent, well done.
But the thing is, I imagine him sat up there, sort of flinging them out to the dogs down below.
No, he
You
would
know
eat
what I
them all
mean?
himself. That's my boy.
Yeah. Shredded the box, that went, and some glue sticks as well.
Glue sticks?
Glue sticks.
Where's he got glue sticks from?
Well, the ones I used to glue my eyebrows down earlier.
Oh, whoa, stop there. The ones you used to glue, what, tell me more?
Well, you know the ones that I have to glue my eyebrows down for the Wizard of Oz thing coming up.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, your experimental eyebrow wizarding.
Yeah. So, but I left 3 of them in the kitchen because, apparently that's where you keep purple glue sticks. Well, they've gone as well.
Okay. Well, he's going to have a sticky poo. There she
no.
goes. Oh.
So yeah, just a bit, but I mean proper mess. Like it was like a tornado had gone through the place.
Well, that's what you get for having huskies, in it. So, you know,
yeah.
we know these things are going to happen, and, you know, occasionally they do. So, yes, that's exciting, isn't it? Now, of course, we've got loads going on this evening, in a way. So we should invite people to get social with us tonight, shouldn't we, Ruth?
Yeah, we're having a chat to a few people.
Are you?
Yeah, so in the comments, let's have a little look. We've got Harry Stedman, he's popped in, taking the mickey out of my fringe. Mm-hmm. Standard. Beverly Charles has got a bit of a fringe as well. Well, it's because I mentioned that when I was younger,
Right.
I used to have a fringe.
Right, this is a sort of tedious link to the fact that we're talking about the Norwich Fringe tonight, which has nothing to do with hair.
Well, no, you said we love a fringe, and then it made me remember that I used to have a fringe.
Oh, okay.
But my fringe was a bit weird. Because I've got, my big old moon face. I've also got a really weird hairline as well.
Have you?
Yeah, it's called a widow's peak.
It's Ruth's fun fact of the day.
Hi, David. David's just popped in the chat. He said, sorry I'm late. I've been doing voiceovers and phone calls. You've not missed anything, David, but I think you're here at the right time to hear Ruth's fun fact of the day. She's talking about her widow's peak.
Yeah. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see my widow's peak?
Yeah, go on then.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, it's here. Can you see that? I don't know.
What is it?
The vampire hairline.
Oh, right, okay.
It's called a widow's peak.
Right,
But the
okay.
problem with it is
I wonder
you
what
can't
you were
have...
going to pop out on camera there.
Now listen, you can't have a thin fringe. You've got to have a thick fringe if you have one of them, because otherwise you have like a really thick bit down the middle, and then the rest is like really wispy.
Right. got you.
So when I was really little, I'm assuming it's probably because of my big round moon face, which is why I had one in the first place. Really thick fringe. But then like with disco competitions and stuff, I used to do freestyle disco. My mum used to crimp my hair, and you can't crimp all of your hair and leave your fringe normal. So she used to crimp my fringe as well, and then it would sort of stick out like an
If
angle.
you've just joined us, we're talking about Ruth's hairy fringe.
Yeah. Used to stick out. That's it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you
Anyway,
go.
fringe festivals. I love fringe festivals.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. And these guys are going ahead with one. It's going to be online, but, you know, we're diversifying. People are doing what we need to do to get things happening. And this is exciting because it's a big thing for Norwich.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know whether Norwich have had a live one before, whether this is the first event of their time. Everyone's heard of the Edinburgh Fringe.
Well, we're gonna chat later, and we're gonna find out all this information.
It's
exciting,
exciting.
yeah. I think there should be more fringes everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have a Skegness fringe.
Well, they have, what do they have? They have the Sow Festival. It's not really a fringe festival. It's like a
No.
money spinner, isn't it? It's not a... Can you say that? Oh, I did. Oh, no.
Well, it's not a money spinner. It's just, you know, but yeah, no, it's not really it's not like
No,
a
it's
fringe
not.
festival.
No, because it's from all over the place,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it, as
it's
well?
from all over the world. But yeah, so is the fringe. But you know, it's a different thing in its entirety. We'll talk later.
Yeah. Oops. Never mind. So yeah, but anyway, I'm in social media corner. So
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, we should talk about that, shouldn't we?
we should. Every day I forget to. I mean, I say the same thing every day. You think I'd remember by now, but I don't.
You know what we need to do?
What?
Let's get social.
Yeah. Where did the ding one go? Didn't we have a?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. No, James sent one through. Actually, he sent one through, and I've misplaced it. So it's here somewhere. I'll find it.
Be on your Facebook Messenger.
I might have a ding actually. Hold on. No, I've got a ding. Hold on.
Put your ding on.
I've got one on here. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me get
Let's
my
go
ding
for
on.
it. Now,
Here we go.
everyone, just hold tight. Get ready, because this
here we
is going to
go.
be good.
Let's get social.
Oh, what was that?
It was a very big bell.
Round one, ding ding.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so
Yeah. It's a big bell.
yeah. Hop
If
in
you want
the
to
chat.
get social media in the
Yeah.
corner with Ruthie, what you got to do?
Well, head on over to stagetostream.tv. As I say every day, if you're watching on any of the streams, I think we're sharing it to about 21 different places. There's lots of pages out there. So if you're watching on there, great. However, head on over to stagetostream.tv and watch it on the main site, because then I can keep you all together. Like my little bunch of penguins
And your Widow's Peak.
in Widow's Peak. It sounds like a film, that, doesn't it? Widow's Peak.
Yeah. With a hairy fringe.
Anyway, pop in the chat, say hello. Did you ever have a fringe? Who knows? Let me know.
I did, yeah. No, I had curtains.
I wasn't asking
Weren't
you.
a
I was
fringe.
asking
Oh, right, okay then.
the people in the chat. We've
Okay.
already established that Beverly Charles out there, she's got a photo that is affectionately known as the French Revolution photo.
Why?
I don't know, it's something to do with the fringe. It's obviously a picture of her with a fringe. Probably looks a bit French.
Pop it in the chat.
Might be holding a baguette. Who knows?
Let's have a look at your hairy fringe.
So there we are. Anyway, yeah, hop in the chat.
Yeah, well, you've
Give
not
me a
done it,
wave.
have you?
What?
What do you mean, what?
Oh, or why is this bit so hard? It shouldn't be.
That's what she said.
Send me a text or WhatsApp. And I can't even remember what that is either. WhatsApp. Let me know on the phone. Do you want the telephone number?
Yes, please.
You've moved it, haven't you? It's now up on this side.
Yeah.
And it's here. And what's the number, Gary?
07510, followed by 891, then 005. Let's get social.
What was that number again?
That's 07510,
Of course.
followed by 891, then 005.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And that's what they need to do if they want to get involved. Whether you can get involved in many ways. You can jump on because there are many things that we need to talk to this evening. We need to talk about. We need guests for next week. That's very important. If you want to be a guest, we've got a couple of slots free next week.
Just a few.
And some the week after. So if you want to be a guest, if you want to advertise something, come and talk to us about all things entertainment. That's what it's about. It's about getting social. It's about...
Let's get social.
That's what you need to do. So if you want to come on the show, then come and join us. Come and chat. What else, Ruth? What else do we need to talk about? Brilliant. Good banter. Jonathan Samuels in the chat right now. He said, Ruth's doing a very good job not laughing.
I don't laugh.
No, she doesn't get it.
I have no emotions.
Literally doesn't get it. Oh.
I just realised that won't translate well at all on the radio station.
Dead air is a crime.
Air. Just keep dinging in the
Yeah.
back.
No, that's fine. Anyway, good. Adam Fielding's in.
Hi, Adam.
Yeah, and he said Alexander Lodge. Exactly. Yes.
What does
him
that
on.
mean?
Send him a message. What do you mean? What does it mean? It's not a place, Ruth. It's a him.
Ah,
Oh, there you go. You see.
I thought it was like a place name. Sounds regal, doesn't it? Where do you live? I live in Alexander Lodge over yonder.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Anyway,
Good.
Alexander Lodge, great.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Good. Well, top banter, Ruth, as always. Yeah. Have you ever done anything fringy?
Oh, I had a fringe.
Well, we know that.
I've discovered that.
Any like a unique theatre?
No, not really.
Good chat.
But I've come from a strange background and ended up in this game we call acting.
Yeah.
See, I started in the dance profession,
You did, yes.
started there and did sort of I'd say,
Did you do like all the disco dancing competitions and stuff?
yeah, when I was younger, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Running about, throwing yourself about all over the place. Had some great costumes, love the costumes, they were good. That was my favourite part of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I started off dancing, that was my thing. And then, did all the usual things. I say usual things. Disney Paris, resorts, hotels, that kind of stuff. And then moved to Skegness to start work at Holiday Park, which I said I'd never do. I'd never do a holiday park.
That's where you came and met me.
Yeah.
And look where it's gone since then. Your life has just, rocketed.
Yeah. Rocketed.
And you could still be at Shadbolts and Chadbolts.
Oh, don't. That was awful, that. Yeah. Between contracts. It's like between contracts, you have to find muggle work, don't you? So I got a little job as a receptionist selling doors. I was very good at it, if I do say so myself.
You were. They offered you a full-time job, didn't they?
Yeah.
But you said, no, I'm going back to Gary, and that's what's happening. I'll just point out, Adam Fielding's popped into the chat, and he said that he's from our favourite show, Book of Mormon.
Ah.
So you won't like him.
Well, no, that's not. You can't encompass that. You can't say you don't like people because you don't know what they're in.
No,
someone offered me a booking
we should
job
point out actually if
booking job
if
of-
if,
That's
if he
not
is
right.
watching right now, I took Ruth's very easily offended, and I took her to watch Book of Mormon, and she had this face the whole way through. In fact, Ruth, just show him the face you had the whole way through. Mine was better.
I didn't see it. Well, no, it's one of those things. Like I said before, I can appreciate a show and appreciate everything that goes into it. It's just whether content makes you go, "Oh, that was great. I'll watch that again," or not. Everyone in it was fabulous,
Yeah.
and it was a very, very good production.
And
Of course it is.
also, I've put "Turn It Off" like a light switch.
Now that
Go
one, I
click.
didn't mind that. That was quite good.
That is on our radio show, which
Yeah,
we
I
should
like
also
that
talk
one.
about. Stage to Stream Radio, which is broadcasting live 24/7 every day of the week, day and night. If you like musical theatre, we're going to be putting plays on there. We're going to be doing everything. We're getting people involved now. We're starting to build it. So if you want to jump on there, music is played constantly. You can join in on that and listen to some wonderful tunes, including "Turn It Off Like a Light Switch."
Is there a age limit on Book of Mormon?
No, I don't think there is.
Because remember when we saw it and there was that small child sat in front of us?
I think it's I think it's parental advisory. So, but you know what you're going to see. Well, you didn't,
Well, I
but I did. In fact, I've seen it a couple of times, and I took you to see it. I think the third time with my boy. He came as well, and I spent the entire time watching you watch that show, and
Like Google
literally,
Box.
I was crying the whole way through. Yeah. For many of the songs, as you can well imagine if you've seen that show. But I literally watched Ruth the whole time and cried with laughter. It was a beautiful moment.
Oh, it was nice. Thanks for taking me. Appreciated it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
David Burton says, last time I auditioned for The Fringe, they were casting 6 people to play clowns. 7 actors turned up. They were overcast.
But I love that. That's getting a smiley, laughing face.
Well, it's also getting this.
It's worthy of it.
It's worthy of it.
Yeah,
Well done, sir.
very good.
Yeah.
So we need to work on that jingle that we said yesterday.
Which one was that? Joke of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get James on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there you go.
that's it. So
That's it.
that's it.
Nothing more.
No
That's
more.
it.
No.
Yeah. Beverly Charles says, have you won any dance awards, Ruth?
Yeah. I mean, I won't bore you with them.
Okay.
Freestyle
Good
world.
Good chat, Ruth.
Well, it's freestyle world, isn't it? It's like, you win this and you win that. It's like, it's a yawn fest, to be honest with you.
That's a beautiful moment. Yeah. Tell us about it then. Oh, it's like interviewing people.
This is why I don't get interviewed, because I'm not very good at it.
Well,
Come out with weird
well,
things.
now you know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Have you done anything interesting? Yeah. Great audition. Great
Tell
interview.
me about it.
Well, tell me about it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you won the awards, Ruth? That is what we need to know.
Yeah, like you win competitions.
Good.
But
That's it. Okay.
I was about to elaborate then. You've
Oh
stopped
no,
me.
no! If you've got more,
no.
If you've got more, jump on
No,
it.
I don't want to, no.
Oh, please do.
Well, it was one of those things, like, so when, I say when you're a kid, I mean, I think I did my first one, I don't know how old I was, probably 8 or 9 maybe, I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that. And then went all the way through until maybe I was, I want to say 16, maybe 17? I don't really remember. I've got a really weird memory when it comes to things of myself.
It's Ruth's fun fact of the day.
Well, like, what I mean is I can remember, I retain the weirdest information, like postcodes, like client names from like bookings that we have and stuff like that. And like at Christmas, there's thousands of those, but I can tell you which postcode belongs to which show and which person.
I know.
But I wouldn't be able to tell you what I did when I was, 14 or whatever. I wouldn't have a clue.
We now need to get Alexander Lodge on this show, just for that reason. Needs to happen.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're watching now, yeah, but not. You've probably got important things to do. But if you are out there, let's get you on the show.
Yeah, come on
Let's
in.
talk all things theatre. Mormon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So just to remind people, if they want to get in social, what do they need to do, Ruth?
Oh, well, come on to the chat. Say hello.
Or?
You can send me a text or a WhatsApp on this number here.
07510, followed by 891, then 005. Let's get social.
What Was that number again?
That's 07510.
Of course.
Followed by 891, then 005.
Yep.
Good.
I was trying to do the bouncy thing, in the karaoke lyrics. But then I realised I didn't actually know where it was. I know it's here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's an important thing.
Very important.
Did you read any books after World Book Day yesterday?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I watched telly.
Did you?
Yeah. Why, did you read anything?
No, well, I did, in a way. I downloaded an audiobook, so I don't have time to read much, but I downloaded a Darren Brown audiobook.
You downloaded a Darren Brown audiobook.
Yeah.
Isn't he like the mind melder man?
Telling you how to train your mind.
And you fell asleep listening to that?
Yeah. And this
Right.
morning, all the dogs were under my control.
Danger.
Yeah, I know. That's my middle name.
You might still be asleep now and you wouldn't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's melded your mind.
Yeah, could be happening. I could be in one of his shows right now.
Oh, that's
Which would
freaky,
be weird.
isn't it?
Yeah. Good though.
I wouldn't like to listen to that.
So if I killed zombies tonight, that's why. Yeah. So I listened to that, and also I remembered today that 2 years ago I paid for Masterclass, which is an online thing where they have like
Masterclass.
yeah, it's like
Is that the same as masterclass?
well, it depends if you've got a stupid accent or not.
Masterclass.
Masterclass, yeah, not masterclass.
Masterclass.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I realised I've been paying for that for 2 years, and today it popped up, and it was an FBI agent who's the top negotiator of the world, who popped up, and he's given a course online, and I went, oh, I wish I'd not cancelled that. I'll just have a look how much it is, and then realise that for 2 years I've been paying for it. So I'm going to jump on there later and learn how to become a top negotiator.
I feel like there's something there. Becoming a top negotiator by listening to Mr. FBI Man
Yeah.
whilst having your mind melded by Darren Brown.
Well, do you know what I mean?
Catastrophic effects.
It's all kind of happened at the same time, if you know what I mean, because that kind of came up with Darren Brown, and then on top of that, masterclass, and people are now jumping in the chat saying that I should be saying master,
Masterclass.
not master. Masterclass. Is that not how you would say it?
No, masterclass.
What?
Masterclass.
You're now twisting it to masterclass.
That's the
It
same
sounds
thing.
weird.
Well, I was only accentuating the fact that you didn't put an R in the middle of master.
Right. Well, it's top banter, Ruth. It really is.
Anyway.
Anyway, do it in RP.
Masterclass.
Sorry, what was that?
It sounds exactly the same.
No, you said masterclass.
Oh, now I'm panicking.
You're panicking that everything you've done for the past 20, 30, 34 years.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Stop mentioning my age on air, please.
Yeah, everything you've learnt in the last 34 years was wrong, because now
It's
when
not,
you're
though.
talking RP, do it.
Masterclass.
There you go.
Well, it's still the same. It's just
Wow.
I'm not enunciating
Is it?
the middle. Yeah, no, don't get argumentative because
though?
you know you're wrong.
Yeah.
Let's
In a
ask
way.
the Queen how she would pronounce it.
She go, get out of my house.
She would.
Why are you bothering me with masterclass?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
would.
Anyway, it's top banter, Ruth, and I'm so glad you're here tonight to keep me amused with your master's degree.
Yeah.
Did you have a master's degree?
No.
Exactly.
Have you?
Yes.
Well, that's a lie.
Well, is it?
Yeah.
We'll never know. Anyway, listen.
we do.
Enough of this top banter this evening, because we've got things to talk about this evening. We've got our first guest coming on tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to meet them right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Stage 2. Screen.
Yes, indeed. Talking about the Norwich Fringe, it is Sam and Molly. Hello, how are you both? Are you well?
Hello, yeah, doing fantastic. I think we came at an appropriate time in the banter of the conversation.
What point did you join in on?
Well, we were here a bit before, but the conversation about how to pronounce masterclass. I may be
Thank
in
you.
Norfolk in the east now, but I'm a Southwest boy at heart, and so for me, it's a master class, and just draw it out like that.
You see, you've now added a third twist into this because I'm saying masterclass. Ruth, what are you saying?
Masterclass.
Masterclass. Okay, well, then the deciding vote goes to Molly.
I'm afraid I'm going to sort of split the vote because I'm a southeastern gal, and so it's masterclass for me, which is even worse.
That's outrageous. Well, glad you joined us. Yeah, we obviously have top banter and factual things like how to speak proper. So that always happens.
Just before we start.
Oh, go on, Ruth's here.
So we had a little bit of a hoo-ha a couple of days ago, and it was about Nutella.
Oh,
So what's your stance on the Nutella gate?
Nutella Gate?
well,
I mean, on how to pronounce, or
yeah,
do you like to taste
because
it?
I say, and so does Nutella, that it's not Nutella. Just because it's got nuts in it, it's Nutella. But Ruth says it's Nutella. What are you going
No,
for?
she doesn't. Ruth says it's Nutella because it's made of nuts.
Okay. Well,
Ruth, I'm going to have to agree with you 100%. And that's
I'm on Ruth's side.
Yeah, Norwich
Right.
Fringe's official stance is Nutella.
Nutella.
right, you need to Google. You all need to Google. You've been doing it wrong. Anyway.
No, you have.
Right,
Anyway.
listen, go away, Ruth. We'll come back
Bye.
to you later. Bye. Sam and Molly, welcome to the chaos that is a StagetoStream.tv. Wonderful to meet you this evening. We're going to talk about the Norwich Fringe very shortly indeed and the work you've been doing. But I think before we start, let's meet you. Let's talk about you and a little bit about you. We'll start with you, Molly. You tell us a little bit about you first of all.
Sure. So I'm a producer with Norwich Fringe. I graduated from UEA in 2019 in English and Drama, where I first came into contact with Mr. Sam. I took to theatre directing, and that's my primary focus is directing new writing. I run a theatre company called Coast to Coast that focuses on socio-political new writing, new plays, and representing and platforming regional, whatever regional means, regional artists.
Amazing. I like it. We've got some intellectual people on, so they must know how to speak proper. And what about you, Sam?
I don't know about intellectual for me, but I also sort of director and writer in and around Norwich, primarily focusing on teaching. So I also was at UEA on one of their various drama programmes, a couple of years above Molly. So I've been in the Norwich scene for a little bit longer and have forgotten all I learned because I've been away from education for a bit longer. So I spend most of my time teaching, but and then this last year I've been a producer on the newly revived Norwich Fringe, with both Molly and Joseph Ballard, who's the third person in our little trio.
Amazing. So let's talk about the Norwich Fringe. So is this something that you've just recently taken over?
Yeah, so I think before we both moved to Norwich, actually, it was a thing. It was a live festival, as you would expect. I think six years ago, approximately. It kind of took a year off and hasn't come back since, just because of the sheer amount of effort involved, and the people had other projects on. So actually, it's something that we've taken over the name and the kind of idea of Norwich Fringe, but we're all new people to it, so it's effectively like a new thing. We call it a revival of the Norwich Fringe, because it's been so dormant for so long.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's great to see you doing it. Now, of course, at this point, in the way society is and what's going on out there, how are you adapting that this year? Because are you literally going live, or are you keeping it online? How's that working?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a mix, really. So we've got people who are sending in pre-recorded videos to us that we'll stream to everyone that's bought their day tickets. We'll have people going live from their homes, and we're also making a bit of a makeshift TV studio in a local venue, obviously entirely COVID secure. All the people that are coming in to film live are local to Norwich, and so don't have to travel particularly far at all. So it will be a real mixed bag. There are some people streaming live from Africa, various countries in Africa, and then we've got people streaming from Suffolk. So it's a bit of a mixed bag.
It's all over the world. That's amazing. So, sort of content-wise, what sort of things can we kind of see on that?
So we tried to keep it as broad as possible. We who run the Fringe are theatre people, and that's kind of where our main focus creatively is. But actually, we see Fringe being about all sorts of creative art forms, not just the one that we do the most of, because that would be very selfish of us, and not at all representative of all the creativity going on locally, well, and as Molly said, internationally. So we do have some theatre shows, as you might expect. We've got some stand-up comedy, and we've got some music as well. And we do have a visual arts section, which is going to be working as a kind of virtual gallery thing. So we're trying to cover all our bases really in terms of different types of art forms. Although, as it's so varied, I'm sure there's a few we might have missed.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, you say there's a third person to this group. Are you all sort of from the university? How did you all meet and sort of come together to do this?
So we've sort of met each other, knew each other from uni, but not very well. And then I met Joseph through working in a school, and which is also how Sam met Joseph, because Sam did my job before I did my job.
Yeah.
So we've all got a shared experience there. And yeah, I remember I finished working with Joseph in the school last year in summer, in July. And that was when we launched the Fringe. Joseph had talked to both of us during our tenure in this school about the fact that he wanted to revive the festival. He's been in Norfolk far longer than we have, most of his life, and has been around the block, has his fingers in so many pies, and so he was always going to be the front runner in leading the revival of the festival. So that's how we sort of came together, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think we all worked at this school, like I say, in the drama department, but we also all were trying to look beyond that sort of that microcosm and get involved in the local art scene in any different ways we could. And I think we all just saw a gap, basically. There's some absolutely wonderful, really high budget touring stuff that comes through Norwich, and there's some really wonderful amateur theatre and artwork that goes on in Norwich. People do it for the love, and we saw this gap in the middle where that kind of fringe area, where it is paid, it is semi-professional, but it's not quite those sort of hundred thousands of pounds musicals that you see through. It's that middle gap that we kind of wanted to fill.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, as you're sort of reviving this now, what's the response been like to it? You know, is everybody sort of on board with that? Is a lot of Norwich getting behind it, like the businesses and stuff?
Yeah, it's been really exciting, to be honest. It's been one of the highlights. It's just we didn't want to force an agenda on our community or local area, so we held a few open platform Zooms at the start just to get a feel for what people wanted the Fringe to be. So I think that has helped massively with people being behind us, because they know that we have their best interests at heart and mean that genuinely, rather than just something we throw out there. And so it's been wonderful from people, especially in East Anglia, and we've just started a podcast called Fringe Focus, and chatting to people on that. You know, it's really flattering, just the amount of people that are so happy that this is going on, because it gives them some creative focus, and it's a bit of hope for everyone really that's involved.
And I'd say from my point of view, it's great seeing like a two-pronged support coming out from the city and beyond, I must say, both from audiences who are just grateful to see something and really happy and supportive of work happening, but also the sheer amount of, like I say, artists of all sorts. We were very lucky to be granted some Arts Council funding, and we were able to do what we call them seed commissions. So commission some work, but for less money than we would like, but give some money out. And we had something like 60 odd applications for that, and then something like just over 108, 109 applications for the festival itself. When our budget time streaming constraints means we've got about 35 things in the end. So it's really exciting, the amount of support and response we've got, and also quite terrifying because we can't quite actually manage to hold it all in yet. But watch this space.
And another just a really lovely sort of atmosphere that's been fostered by the other arts organisations that are in Norwich at the moment. We've had some really lovely support on social media and just sharing and retweets and stuff like that. That's just sort of goes to show that there's no real competition, and that we want to get along with everyone.
Yeah, no, I mean, we spoke briefly about this earlier. You know, it's amazing how sort of, you know, throughout all of this, you know, the pandemic and everything that's gone on, that people have adapted how they work, and you know, like you guys are doing with the Fringe, of how you're now sort of doing stuff online, but also working to do a COVID safe environment and do that sort of thing. And I think it's a beautiful thing that people have started to come together and work in ways that never would have happened before. You know, and you're collaborating with people, as we all are, with people that we may never have had the opportunity to talk to and deal with. How have you found that with yourselves? Have you found that you know, it's sort of, in a strange way, it's sort of opened up doors more?
I have met more people during this pandemic, albeit via a screen, than I think I ever did in the several years before. You know, I've been actively working in Norwich, as has Molly, in the art scene, and trying to get involved and running lots of different projects. But something about the ease with which we can do it online means I know so many more people now, and I think we've managed to do, I think, make a bigger festival in terms of numbers of artists and numbers of involvement than we probably would have done before. Even though it feels a bit strange because it's not what we're used to.
Yeah.
It has been a good opportunity to broaden those figures and numbers.
And as well, people, I think it's a common cause that people can get behind, and people have been so incredibly generous with their time. We've had so many people sort of give us discounts here, there, and everywhere, and actually make the festival possible, because we haven't got a huge budget, and we're basically all volunteering to make this work. And that's the one thing that I'm just incredibly grateful for. And I think it is that sort of, you know, I want to say blitz spirit without saying blitz spirit, but getting together and making stuff happen in a bit of a crisis.
And I want to say as well, sorry, I'm sure you've got more things to say, but it's been great to cross the strata of the city, in terms of we've been getting people going, oh, can I just volunteer a bit of my time? And then we've been getting people going, oh, I've got this bit of equipment that might help you. And people going, okay, I can do this. Okay, we'll do it at cost. And then even some of the theatres as well, who, as Molly said, could potentially be seen as competition, but actually have gone, no, we're all here to make creativity happen. And we're not actually doing this in conjunction with any theatres or arts venues in the city just because of how it's worked out. But the amount of offers we've had of help, support, collaboration has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. And, you know, you use the word blitz spirit. I think you're right with that side of it. I think it's kind of opened up exactly why most of us went into this, because it's certainly not for money, you know, but that's always an issue. But actually seeing people in a creative way now and coming together to create different things is just it's an amazing thing to see. So yeah, absolutely fair play to you. Let's just you know, obviously with the pandemic is something that we obviously is sort of prevalent in every conversation, and just how it's sort of affected individual, you know, performers and creatives. So for you, how has it sort of affected you? Let's go with you first, Sam. How's it sort of hit you the past year?
It's personally, I've been quite lucky in that my day job is working at a theatre that has managed to retain its staff and move online as best we can. So what I lost, sorry, I'll have to format my thoughts here. So what I lost was all the extra stuff. So I've had like a steady sort of 3 days a week teaching job, which has been very, very lucky to have, and I've still managed to engage with the arts in a way that so many people haven't been able to do. What I have lost is actually doing projects rather than just teaching the theory behind things. I think I had something like 3 shows I was supposed to be directing in 2020, none of which came to fruition in the end. And, you know, extra freelance work. So many people in the creative industry get their work and their money, which we don't like to talk about, but is important, from here, there and everywhere. That happened likewise with me. But on the positive side, it's given me time to do this Fringe Festival, which I don't think I would have had before, when I was going here, there and everywhere, picking up extra bits of work. Molly, I know you've been a bit different in terms of your experience.
Yeah, it's been a bit strange. After working in the school last year, my sort of plan was, okay, great, I have this year after I graduate to have a nice steady education job, and now my plan is to go and just commit full time to freelancing. And then obviously the thing happened, and that just wasn't humanly possible. So had the odd job. I worked for the Royal Mail for a brief time at Christmas, which was incredibly rewarding in terms of the creative stories you get from that. But I've been doing a lot. I think I don't give myself enough credit for how much stuff I've done, just because you're in your own home and you forget that if you were to actually write all this stuff down, it's a bit mad. So yeah, I've been doing loads of directing workshops online, and just basically making the most of all of this available content. Play reading groups, online showcases of work, helping out with the UEA, producing bits here and there, and yeah, Norwich Fringe alongside that.
And in terms of pandemic, it's been horrendous trying to organise things long term with people over Zoom is pretty difficult. But halfway through the year, Molly did move into this house, so we had this, as you can see, our kind of shared little office with weird little things stuck up on the walls. Has been incredibly helpful. Even though we can't go out, we've got sort of 2/3 of the Fringe team in our little room, able to act as if we're at work, basically, which has been a positive takeaway.
Yeah, it's amazing hearing different stories, you know, of how it's affected people and how you've adapted. But it seems to be this continuing sort of narrative that goes through everything. That the one thing we get from all of this is time to kind of, whether you're learning new skills or using it in that way. And I think that above everything else is the one thing that we can take from it. That we've all had this time to use as we wish, but hopefully sort of push ourselves forward into new ideas, new roles, and for you guys, what's come out of it is pushing forward this the Norwich Fringe and doing something completely different, which is amazing. It's great to see it being brought back. So if people want to get involved with this and of course want to watch it, what do they need to do? Now we'll obviously drop this in the chat as well for you, but give us some info as to when and where.
Great. So the Fringe itself streams from the 18th to the 18th to the 21st of March. So that's 4 days of content, and you can buy tickets through our website. It's Eventbrite, but if you go through our website, which is norwichfringe.org.uk, that will give you the listings, and so you know what you're actually buying your ticket for. Now we're selling those as day tickets, so you buy one ticket and that's 6 hours of content, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. every day. And we're also doing a pay what you can price structure. So there's options there of £4, £6 or £9 for those days ticket, because we wanted to make it as accessible as possible while still paying all the artists. So it's any money goes towards the artists who are involved on that day. So I'll say that again, it's norwichfringe.org.uk is where you can find the directory of all the events and where to buy those tickets.
Amazing. No, that's great. And a wonderful thing to get involved with. Like I say, we'll get Ruth to pop everything in the chat as well, so you can jump on that. And speaking of Ruth, we're going to invite her back now to join in the conversation because she's finished her debates about Nutella and Masters. Hello, Ruthie.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey, Ruth.
Yeah, good. How are you two doing? You all right?
Yeah, cracking.
Yeah, great. Loving this.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we've got lots of love going on for both of you in the chat. I've dropped both of the links, and I've got the Facebook page, and I've also got your main website in there. So if anyone out there does want to purchase tickets, then scroll through, and you can find all the information on there. Now we've got lots and lots of questions. First of all, Adam Fielding would like to know. Hi, Adam. Are you interested in spoken word poetry? Oh, now Adam's a brilliant poet. Now I've had a little sneaky look through your sort of the acts that have sort of come up, and there are a few poets in there. So first question, is it too late to apply to be part of it if you wanted to, and how do you go about doing that?
It is unfortunately too late to apply at this point. Just the nature of our streaming means that we've had to organise quite far in advance exactly when every single act is going to be. But that said, we are very interested in spoken word. I think I said earlier, want to cram in as many different art forms as possible. And as we go forwards, basically, the plan is to be a Fringe that, yes, has a festival once a year, but does operate events year round. So basically keep an eye on our socials. If you go on our website, you can go on added to our mailing list for when we do call outs for shows in the future. So this is not your last chance to be part of the Norwich Fringe. Unfortunately, we can't have anyone else being part of the Norwich Fringe Festival this time around.
Sure.
But it won't be too long before we start putting on other events in which spoken word will be welcomed with open arms.
Amazing.
Great stuff.
Rotate.
Okay, we've got a question here from David Burton. Hi, David. He says, did you feel that Norfolk generally was a bit of an artistic wasteland? And was this your motivation for setting up the festival? So what's the history behind it as well?
Sorry. Oh, sorry, I missed that last bit.
The history behind Norwich Fringe.
Cracking. It's so fascinating because I think that I don't know whereabouts David's from, but I think the opinion of Norwich and Norfolk within Norwich and Norfolk and the artists here is that it's so rich and it's so full of incredible artists and across the board, and so really it was because there was so much talent that we wanted more platforms. So not at all that it was a wasteland, but that it was like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon that just needed a bit of trimming and a bit of like sunlight.
Yeah, I think that reputation, again, I don't know where this person's from, but the reputation I know comes from Alan Partridge, effectively, who's from Norwich. And,
it's the best thing ever, so...
Yeah, it's amazing. But it's sadly true that the reason he's from Norwich is it's a bit of a joke and that people do think of it as possibly a bit of an artistic wasteland. But actually, I need to know where my source was for this. Okay, I'm pretty sure this was a government survey a few years ago. I might be wrong on the source, so apologies. But East Anglia as a region has the most theatre, at least, made per person, the most shows. So it's incredibly rich. But I think just because it's maybe a slightly smaller population than London, people don't think of it as that hub. And I think we've discovered since doing this Fringe, there's even way more than we realised, creative people out there who are working and making things.
In terms of the history, so yeah, the festival's been dormant for 6 years. It was run entirely by volunteers. It was very grassroots. I think so there's still an old Norwich Fringe website that's worth a look, just have a look and see how they manage things. But I think there are a couple of big world events that basically stopped the festival from happening in terms of these people that were running it just ran out of money, ran out of time, and just couldn't really they couldn't really control how big it had gotten for the team that they had. So it just sort of was laid to rest a bit.
Yeah, but for a more detailed history, because I will admit it's not something that we are experts on, because it was before we moved to the region. If you type in Norwich Fringe Festival, the website that isn't ours that comes up, they've left up as an archive, so you can see what was going on there before we took it over.
I think it's one of them things, isn't it? You know, you can have your you can think of what you want of any area if you're not from it, but you discover that when you're in it. I mean, I'm in Skegness, so I'm in no place to talk, but because there wasn't much culture here, initially there was, there was 6-7 theatres within the town. It was, in its heyday, it was everywhere, and then it gradually went down to one theatre, and then as all theatres have done, they kind of they turn more into tribute musics and that sort of thing, and the sort of the cultural side of it just gets watered down a lot. And so for me, I was like, well, there's a place for us, and for what we're doing, which was the plays and the more theatrical side. But you still wouldn't go, well, Skegness is rich with culture, even though actually, if you're here, there's a lot of places you can go and a lot of places you can kind of look into that have that side of it now, and it's escalating more so. So it is one of those things. I think like you say with you guys in Norwich. Alan Partridge will automatically go, oh, it's Norwich. But, actually, if you're there and in it, it's everywhere. And, there is a lot of theatre in Norwich. I know that. So,
yeah. I think for me as well, sorry, apologies, there's another question to come. But I think for me, it depends what you count as culture. I think maybe 16-year-old me who was very much going, if it's not a published play and it's not got loads of 5-star reviews from The Guardian in the Independent on it, it's not real. It's not proper work. And actually, I think that's where people get this idea, that sort of London-centric idea that that's where the real theatre is. But actually, I think Norfolk, and I imagine Skegness as well, I don't know, maybe you've had experience with this, is much more focused on community participation, people making their own things, grassroots, and it's really interesting work. And people get really behind it, but it just doesn't come into that same category of official art,
and also
whatever that means.
when you look at it over the past year, this has kind of sort of proved it of the those smaller companies and those people going out and doing the creative side of it that isn't money orientated. Whereas London is massive productions and they have to make their money, and so therefore it all closed down and ended. That you look around and you see these fringe companies and these smaller companies doing exactly what they were meant to do, which is be creative and get that work out there, and also keep people entertained throughout this all, because a lot of the time it's those that are on like we're doing now, they're out there talking and getting shows out there and doing things that the bigger companies won't do. So it's an interesting sort of flip how it's happened. And of course things will drop back once everything's back to normal. You have the big theatre, but there's definitely a place now for everything that we do, for for the fringe, for the the smaller shows and that side of it. I think it's very much worthwhile.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's given everyone, including us who are in the middle of it, a glimpse of we can do this and we can actually have a bigger impact than we possibly thought before, when maybe other types of work dominated.
Yeah. Ruthie,
I just want to touch on that as well, because it's coming back to this whole thing of the silver lining out of the pandemic, where how everything's now moving online. A lot of entertainment's moving online. It's making projects that you might not necessarily have been aware of more prevalent, because there's less competition out there with like you say, like big London theatres and things like that, but it's also allowing these different festivals and these smaller communities to come and shine. And also if we hadn't have had this pandemic, of course nobody wants it, but we wouldn't have probably set up this, we wouldn't have set up Stage to Stream, we wouldn't be chatting to all these different people, and personally I would not have probably known about the Norwich Fringe. So it's definitely, it's one of those things that allowing everything to come online is definitely boosting up all these slightly smaller areas that you say aren't necessarily typically, thriving in the theatre world or the cultural, being seen for what they have and being appreciated for what they have. So I think certainly, having these online festivals and things like that, it certainly does lets little smaller areas sort of climb the ladder, I think, and become more prevalent on the scene, for sure, definitely.
David Burton's jumped back in and said, "My apologies, I wasn't meaning to." I wasn't meaning to. This is the problem with text and message, isn't it? Because you can sort of misinterpret what's meant. But he said, I wasn't meaning to classify it as an artistic wasteland, but more of a place which needed an outlet to harness the talent within the county. He was there a couple of years ago and loved the area. Just wish he'd had more time there.
Yeah, well, thank you for the clarification. We weren't offended in the least. I mean, we've lived here enough years that we understand, and there's been times when I've had that exact thought in the more offensive sense. So no offense taken, but thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, thank you.
There's one other, just because Ruth was talking about the benefits that this has brought, there's one other benefit that I think I'll pass over to Molly to talk more about, which is something we want to take forward, actually, even when we can go live again, which is just the accessibility this has brought.
Yeah, it's something that so many people, we've all, everyone's gone, especially in the sort of disability community, and we've had that with we do what they call creative exchanges. We have creative exchanges where it's just an open platform when we talk about things, and there was someone who was disabled who was talking about, is Norwich Fringe going to commit to continuing online events and online and streaming things, because it's really important for people who aren't comfortable coming back into the world that we're being told is safe. And it's 100% something that we want to continue, because actually for years and years and years, people that have a disability have been told you can't just you can't access something, and actually it's been proven, oh no, it's when everyone else, when able-bodied people need to access these things, that's when change happens.
Yeah.
It's incredibly infuriatingly, but that's 100% something that we see as a huge bonus, and just expands our audience and the people we can engage with.
And we're not going to get it right as we go forward, but every time that we're going to make mistakes. But I think this has taught us, and hopefully lots of other groups out there, that this online, do it live, but also stream to give that access is something that we can definitely take forward.
Yeah, it's something we spoke about, and it's a question that pops up of, is online now going to sort of kill off the theatre? Will people prefer? And, I think there's a place, we've sort of, with what we've done, there's a place for both. We have a very small theatre of 70 seats. And I go, if I can then sell tickets on top of that, which maybe, people want to watch online, then that's great. Myself personally, I would love right now, I love Wicked or any, Book of Mormon or whatever. I would love to be able to go into my room tonight and go, I'm going to watch that live stream tonight, but I would still go and watch it live for that whole different experience. And the same when we did the parking lot social, the throughout the main part of the pandemic, that whole different of having a live show but playing to people sat in cars in their own bubble, and again, it's something we spoke out about. Somebody who took their autistic son and went, it's the best thing we've ever been to see, because we were in our own space. You can control your volume. You can bring my child could bring their bed in and was kind of sat there and, and comfy, and you've not got to worry about other people when they're shouting and all this sort of thing. So there's definitely a place now for everything, whether it be, sort of adapting to doing live and streaming or just streaming. I think there's definitely a place for all of this, but it opens the doors for so much more that we never even thought of before. And of course, with technology the way it is now, and everybody learning the technology of learning how to live stream and also how to watch live stream, it's just opened up so many doors.
Yeah, I also think Kindle didn't kill off books.
No.
TV has been around for decades, hasn't killed off theatre. Film has been around for even longer than TV, hasn't killed off theatre. I think theatre's basically, people for about 4,000 years have been saying it's a dying art form. People won't bother it anymore, and yet here we still are. So I don't think adding streaming and adding accessibility is going to do any harm.
No, absolutely. Ruthie, we've got time for one more. We'll come back to you.
Excellent. Okay, so we've got one on my WhatsApp.
Oh. Look at us with our modern technology.
It's more exciting for me than it is for you, I imagine.
I know.
Okay, this is from Harry Stedman. Hi, Harry. He says, where do you both see the Norwich Fringe going in the next 5 years? When we are allowed to go to events in person, will it become a whole city event?
Nice.
Oh, how many conversations have we had with a cup of coffee going, God, could you imagine if ...
Yeah.
We would love to have our own venue. I think that is the sort of maybe a year, maybe that's the sort of 1 year, like within the next year, at least personally. Don't know if financially possible, but we'll get to that.
That's the dream.
That's the dream
Yeah.
of having a Norwich Fringe venue, and having a year-round presence in Norwich, as a hub for emerging, whatever that means, artists, to put faces to an organisation, that people know us, that they can come to us with ideas, with collaboration requests, that we can put them in touch with other organisations, with funding pots, with whatever. We'd also love to have classes. We'd love to, because teaching is something I enjoy as well. And Sam and I have drawn up almost our own little syllabus, sort of, with the sort of thing we'd love to introduce. I think it would be great to have Norwich Fringe Festival as a city event.
Yeah.
I think the thing with us is that we're always slow and steady, rather than letting things get out of control and all of a sudden our aims and our ethics and our morals go out the window because of expansion. That's not what we're about. We're about slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. I think it's important to say, with that idea of a venue, which again is just kind of the dream at the moment, that's for maybe cheap rehearsal space for people, classes which we can subsidise through funding from various bodies, and also potentially any other shows we might be able to produce, and just as a hub for people rather than a sole venue where that's where we do all our work. So basically the idea is that we hopefully make an incredibly cheap, incredibly accessible place that people can come and make their own things, whatever art form that may be. And then, as Molly said, for the festival itself, the once a year, here we go, everything's happening. Yeah, take over as much of the city as possible. It'd be great.
There are so many beautiful independent businesses in Norwich that would be incredible to fill with arts events and spoken word and exhibitions and all that sort of stuff. I think it would be a really colourful event.
Yeah,
So watch this space.
Yeah. No, and do you know what? My advice for all of this is go and do it. Find your venue and do it yourself. Set it up. I waited till I was 40-ish before I went, do you know what? I'm going to do it. And I found a building that was, it was a computer college. And we were originally looking for somewhere to store costumes. It was literally like that. And I went, do you know what? We could put a stage in here and we could probably get 100 seats in, which is what we did. And that was it. And it was just a case of taking that leap. No, it's not that it's, you don't have to sacrifice everything. But for those in the creative industry, we do that anyway. Do you know what I mean? Everything you earn and everything you make kind of goes back into, into what you do. And that's what we did here. But it's literally just taking that leap of faith and going, do you know what? Just do it. Just find a venue. If you can get funding and that side of it as well, then great. But make the one thing is make yourself sustainable so that you can, that even without that grant funding and that side of it, you can pay your rent and your rates and all that side of it, which is horrible grown-up stuff that we creatives don't like to deal with.
Unfortunately, necessary stuff.
Very important.
But it's one of them things, and and the one thing is you should never live your life with regrets. And the one thing I almost is that I didn't do it maybe 10 years earlier, because we could have done and easier, and made that happen. But over the years, you then build it up, and you add stuff in, and people will collaborate and join in, and that's where we are now. We've got a beautiful little theatre. It's only 75 seats now because we've put a rake seating in while we were closed down for the year. We threw all these bits in and sort of adapted what we did, but we have that sort of creative outlet now to bring people in and do what they want to do. Adam, who was on there earlier, we've done some filming with him, and created some beautiful poetry bits and that sort of thing. But it's if you don't do it, that you'll always find an excuse not to do it, and it's generally money. You just got to take that leap and make it happen. That's all I'm going to say on the subject before I get too yodeling.
Hopefully we'll be in our own space, our own venue.
We'll be streaming from our venue.
Absolutely, and that's all it's about. It's you'll go out there and if you look, you'll find somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Especially now. Now is the great time to do it. If you look, you've already embarked on Arts Council funding and that side of it. But if you can, even if it's a small venue that can get 30-40 people in initially, that's where you start with it, and just push to find it and do it and make it happen, because it will do, and that's the thing. So that's enough from old Yoda over here. My wisdom imparted, we can leave. I wish you all the luck with the Norwich Fringe. It'll be incredible, I'm sure. We'll definitely be joining in and jumping on there and come and see what you've got to offer. It's amazing to meet creatives that are out there and wanting to be, and create something special. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Sam and Molly, it's been wonderful. See you soon and take care.
Very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Something magical is coming this Easter. Live on Stage to Stream, our brand new online panto, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Join Dorothy Gale, the Cowardly Lion, Tin Man, and the Scarecrow in a brand new online magical adventure. Live this Easter at www.stagetostream.tv. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, live, online, this Easter. For more information, visit our website at www.stagetostream.tv. You're watching StageToStream.tv live from the Neverland Theatre here in Skegness. Wonderful, once again, to meet creatives out there that are making things happen. Very inspiring indeed. How are you, Ruthie? Are you okay over there?
Yes,
Oh, it's nice though, wasn't it?
Yeah, two lovely people there.
Yeah.
And how exciting for Norwich as well to
Yeah.
bring back something that, people in the area probably thought they would never see again, or at least not for
Yeah.
a lot longer. 6 years is a bit.
And especially, the fact that they're doing this at a time when, entertainment's suffering. I mean, we have suffered, and, creatively wise, we've suffered. We're the fact that people get out there and just do stuff is amazing wherever you are. I didn't want to turn it into me being preachy, but yeah, definitely, if you want to do something, just do it, because, what's the worst that can happen? You
Well,
have
if it
regrets.
goes wrong, you just regroup and try again, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we did with this place,
Try it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And again.
Yeah, no, well, in fairness, we took this on, and we've survived through the worst time in our history, in our lifetime, that we would go through, which is, no business for a year, and, and that sort of thing. So, we've come out of that, or we're coming out of that, should I say, the other side. We've managed to survive. We've adapted what we've done, and, and that's what it's about. It's about adapting and keeping that creativity alive, and that's what we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had fun doing it.
Yeah, we have.
Considering we started off in a old caravan office that we gutted and converted.
Yeah, I remember that. It's in fact, a picture popped up, which is why you mentioned it probably, is because the picture popped up on my timeline as well today.
Yeah.
When we first built our first office on the holiday park we were working on, and just before we took on this place, literally bought an old caravan, not like a camping caravan,
Static one.
Yeah, it was a big 38-foot thing. It was a big thing, but literally knocked everything out of it, built a recording studio and an office, and set it up from there, and sort of, built everything from scratch. And then that kind of led on to this place, just sort of, we were looking for somewhere for the costumes and everything else, and found this place, and, and then decided to build a theatre, which we've been doing for 5-6 years. And I think we're finally at a place, weirdly, after all this... After this weird year where we've spent a year sort of building stuff still, and while we've been closed, we've got a beautiful place, which for me feels where I always kind of saw it being. So yeah, it's weird.
It's been through many facelifts, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's there now.
Well, I don't think it'll ever be completed.
No, there'll always be, and
It'll always be the next thing to it. That's what Walt Disney said, wasn't it? Disneyland will never be completed whilst there's imagination still left in the world.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. No, true that. And I think you're right. No, but I think you're right. As long as, every day, I know you're the same. I sit in here and I go, oh, what we should do is this. And then you kind of make it happen, and you find a way, and, that's what we've done. And that's where we are now. And it's wonderful to see. It just inspiring people out there that are doing exactly the same, starting a fringe during a pandemic, and and getting it going again, and getting people involved, and finding funding, and all these things that are just horrendous, but
Well, if they've tackled the Arts Council funding, hooray, because that is an obstacle in itself.
well, that's what you need a degree for in the first place.
Absolutely. It's not the easiest of things to navigate that, is it?
No, it's horrific. They don't make it easy.
No. But Sam and Molly, if you're still listening out there, once you get your venue sorted, you know where you're going, if you do want any help, then let us know. We can maybe impart a bit of wisdom if you want it, or
yeah, and we've got
point you in the
loads
right
of we've got
direction.
loads of stuff we can help
Loads
with
of
as well.
spare stuff.
We've got studios now and everything, so and we're always happy to help and join in. So yes, do get in contact, and and then we keep saying this for everybody. I think we had this conversation. I think people. When you say these things, they just look at you and go, oh, okay. Because normally there's always a catch, but we just genuinely like being creative. So if you want to get involved and you want to do stuff, send us a message, and we'll, it's not about money, it's about being creative. So just get involved. Hence this, and of course the radio station as well, in which we offer free advertising for your events. So all you got to do is send us your advert, or even if you can't, just talk to us and we'll help you create one. But all these things, it's all about being creative. That's what it's about, isn't
Definitely.
it, Ruthie?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's
That's
been fun
it.
tonight, hasn't it?
It's been a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited. So the Norwich Fringe, don't forget, is the 18th to the 21st of March. All the details are in the comments already, so just scroll up and you'll find both of the links there. You can find them on Facebook or on their website as well. You can buy your tickets and you can have yourselves a day of watching shows. How nice.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I love it. Love it. Sam Webber's there, and he said, we are listening and we love imparted wisdom. Yeah, that's appreciated, because sometimes I start getting a bit feeling like I'm Yoda, Built a theatre, you must.
Do you remember when you did Yoda bingo?
Yeah, long time ago.
That was, you started a riot then.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I annoyed a lot of people.
So, for those of you out there, I'm sure you've all heard Yoda speak. He does it back to front, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So when you're doing bingo and you're saying, and you're supposed to say 1 and 8, 18, because that's what it is, and then you're over there going
8 and 1, 18 it is.
riots. Absolute people were just throwing their bingo dabbers everywhere.
Which was the only time I called bingo, and was never asked again because I was horrific. And that's what you do: get yourself out of things you don't want to do, live and learn. Don't do things you don't like doing. Yeah, just be awful at it.
That was dreadful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure tonight, Ruthie.
It's
Have
been
you got
good.
any wisdom you want to impart this evening? Because I'm sure there's something you'd like to say.
Oh, before we do, can I just try this? I don't know if this is going to work. Hang on a minute. Beverly Charles, hi Beverly.
This is spooky.
Has done this. Oh, I can't find it. Wait. Right, I'm going to turn this up. So, British pronunciation of masterclass.
Masterclass.
And it says MAA.STUH, as in the phonetic of master.
Yeah, but that just depends where you're from.
Masterclass.
Yeah, but who's that?
Well, that's Google.
Yeah, well, Google's an idiot. Google's American.
Masterclass.
Masterclass. Yeah, but who said that? Exactly.
It was Beverly
Google
Charles.
is a not British company. So,
Nutella.
Ha.
sorry, what was that?
Nutella.
Nutella.
Yeah, she's wrong.
Well,
Good,
heard it here first.
good. Have you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah,
Apart from using an American system to teach us how to speak English,
see now you would be spouting a different tune.
coming over here, taking our voices.
What? Now if this
That was an American actress as well that was paid to teach you how to speak proper English, Ruth.
what you do.
Yeah, like what I do.
Now if that had backed up
Hold
your
on a minute, you're from
pronunciation-
Essex.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. They
closer-
speak like that down there.
It's closer to the Queen than you.
Yeah, they speak like that down there, don't they?
Well, not like that.
Yeah, they do.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, you love it. You love it down in Essex. Yeah,
Right,
that's
I
how
don't-
they talk down there.
I don't think so.
Well, they do.
No.
I'm a Cockney. You know it's true.
Right. Cockneys are from London, but
Brilliant.
anyway.
Well, so's Essex.
All up.
It's just
It's not.
it's just on the outskirts.
Wow.
Well, it's on the outskirts, isn't it?
It's a very large place.
I know, but it's London's growing. They've claimed Essex as theirs.
Just stop. Stop now. That's enough of that nonsense.
I'm just annoying people from Essex.
You're annoying
Probably your
everyone.
mum.
Yeah.
I do apologise.
Oh, my mum's a Londoner.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
Does she talk like that?
No.
Cool, blimey.
She speaks the Queen's English.
She's not a Cockney then.
No.
Well, there you go then. No. There you go.
Anyway.
Wouldn't if the Queen had come from that area, then that's how we would say the Cockney English.
Can you imagine if the Queen did speak like that?
Exactly.
Wasn't that was a film, wasn't it? Who was it that was oh goodness, I think it was an American thing though, wasn't it? Was it John Candy? Was it John Candy? They got all the royal family together and took a big picture, and then exploded or something. The camera exploded and they all got wiped out, and he was like 500th, down the line to be on the throne or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure that was a film.
Brilliant. Well, you know what
Maybe I
that is,
dreamt
don't
it.
you, Ruth?
I don't know.
It's Ruth's fun fact of the day.
And of course, there's more of that tomorrow. Ruth, we've got to go. You've been ranting on about things, about language. Do you want to give us a thing, something you like, something you want to talk about that's more important than...
Steel drums are my favourite drum.
They are my favourite drum.
We know they are.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
was...
Kelly Rogan said it's King Ralph.
Oh, was that the name of the film?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great film.
Great.
Anyway. Yeah.
Steel drums are my favourite drum.
They are.
Good.
Yeah. No, I was because I haven't got my sippy cup.
You haven't got your sippy cup. What's going on there?
I know.
Do you want to talk us through this?
Not really.
now?
It's just I left it upstairs. I brought some Pepsi Max with me.
And now
instead.
you're calling it a sippy cup, which is nice to you've acknowledged that I was right and it is a sippy cup. But
Well,
go
it's
on.
not though,
Well,
is
it is.
it?
You just called it.
It's not.
Go on.
It's just a
What have you got instead?
reusable
Yeah, sippy cup with
vessel
handles and a
for squash.
sippy bit for children. But what have you got instead of it?
Pepsi Max.
Okay.
Well, it reminded me that Coca-Cola has never been patented.
Right.
Well, that was once. That was like in the 1800s.
Why hasn't it been patented?
Because if they did that, they would have to release the recipe. But nobody knows the recipe.
But also, if they released the recipe, nobody would be able to copy it because it was patented.
Oh.
Mind blown.
Did Darren Brown tell you
It's
that?
Ruth's fun fact of the day.
No, but you can certainly make a colourful imitation of it, couldn't you? I mean,
People have done. It's called Pepsi.
You got your Panda Pops and your roller coasters.
Exactly. A colourful imitation of it. There you go. Well, it's been a pleasure this evening. Say goodbye, Ruthie.
Goodbye, Ruthie.
See you tomorrow.
No, you won't.
No, see you Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. If anybody wants to come on the show, join in.
Yeah. Although we're not here tomorrow.
No, we're not here
Yeah,
tomorrow.
email
What
me,
about Monday?
ruth@garristarpantomimes.co.uk if you want to come on the show.
Or WhatsApp or text.
WhatsApp or text.
07510 followed by 891 then 005. Let's get social.
What was that number again?
That's 07510
Of course.
followed by 891 then 005.
You should know that by now, Ruth, because
got it wrong.
you know, yeah. But also, I want to while we're doing the jingle thing, because we need to talk about the jingle thing. I'm going to play this jingle. Yes, Stage to Stream Radio, broadcasting live daily. 24/7. Yes, indeed. You can hear all the sounds of the musicals and much, much more. All you got to do is go to www.stagetostream.tv and click on Listen Now. And that's how you do a jingle voiceover. Yes, indeed. Ruthie, it's been a pleasure this evening. See you tomorrow.
No, you won't.
No, well, I will.
Oh, you will, yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone else, I'll see you on Monday.
Yes, we'll see you Monday. Hope you've enjoyed yourself this evening. Do have a wonderful evening. Whatever you're doing, what are we doing? I'm going to go and put a TV on or something, or watch a movie.
Watch a movie.
Yeah, and listen to some audiobooks from Audible. Yes. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. We look forward to seeing you on Monday with more special guests, top banter, and much, much more. But until we can get back in the theatre, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Good night. Stage to Stream Radio is live now, playing the hits of the musicals 24/7. Simply join us at www.stagetostream.tv. Stage to Stream Radio, keeping theatre alive.